Hello, my name is Boris. I want to tell you about my homeland Bolivia. I prepared the photo presentation Culture of Bolivia. Bolivia is a multinational country. The population of Bolivia consists of four national groups. It is Hispanic Bolivians, Quechua, Aymara, and the so-called Forest Indians. Spanish is the official language. The communication is mainly in Spanish, but if it necessary, they communicate well in their native languages or dialects. I was born there and lived until 6 years old. My father belongs to the Aymara ethnic groups. Some customs, often festive traditions, were preserved in this ethnic group, which I didn't understand them. This tradition did not spread beyond the family circle and can disappear if not passed throughout the generations. For example, my grandparents knew their native language, but they couldn't write it. They spoke in this language, but when they moved to the city, La Paz, they started to communicate in Spanish language because in La Paz all speak Spanish there. Before moving to the city, my grandparents lived in a village, which is founded which was founded over 70 years ago with their participation. When the consequences of industrialization come to Bolivia, they moved to the city to earn money, since the agricultural work are bringing less and less money. Another large group of Bolivian inhabitants is Quechua, that also lived in that region, but they are not numerous there. They mainly lived in south central regions like Cochabamba and Potosi. So I will talk you more about Aymaras. Also, I will tell you that Aymaras and Quechuas are very similar cultures, but they have difference in their clothing and behavior. Quechua and Aymara are very emotional people. They have a lot of holidays and festivals different from rest of the world. Many indigenous women wear colorful clothes, complete with a bowler head style. The hat has been worn by Quechua and Aymara women since 1920, when it was brought to the country by British railroad workers. The traditional dress worn by Quechua women today is a mixture of styles from pre-Spanish days and Spanish colonial peasant dress. The most distinctive part of men's clothing is the homespun poncho. In some regions, women also usually wear Western style clothes. Aymara is one of the main Indian tribes. Its representatives lived in Bolivia and Peru in the highlands of the Andean Cordillera Plateau. The total population of the Aymaras is more than 2 million people. Aymaras arrived in what is now called Bolivia more than 2,000 years ago. They formed a state with the capital Tiwanaku. By the 6th-8th centuries AD, the Aymara state had become strong and flourished, having absorbed many of small nations and cultures of Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. But in the second half of the 15th century, the Incas subdued Аймарца, but giving them some autonomy. Аймарцы did not disappear and were not absorbed by other ethnic groups. Until now, Tiwanaku occupies a large place a large place in the legends and beliefs of the people of Aymara. Tourists visiting Bolivia and the territory of the Andean Cordillera meet with representatives people who still follow the traditions and customs. At first, I want to tell you about their traditions of celebration New Year. They start celebrating on June 6 and finish at the winter solstice on June 21. The winter solstice happens in summer? It sounds like a joke, but it is true. This happens because Bolivia is placed in southern hemisphere. In honor of the new year, a large festival begins, where a lot of families come. Fairs are organized, where the guests taste various dishes exhibited there. Also, you can taste aptepi, which was cooked in ancient times for representatives of the Aymara tribe. It consists of potatoes, dried llama meat, grains, fish from Lake Titicaca, cheese, and hot sauce. At the winter solstice, a new agricultural cycle starts in Bolivia. The celebration of Aymara New Year begins with the ceremony of gratitude to the sun and Pachamama. This is the time when all inhabitants of Bolivia ask for energy for a new crop. This Thanksgiving ceremony is called Marataca. Here is held with participation of Aymara shamans who turn the world to a state of orders. Aymara shamans these days hold Thanksgiving ceremonies for the sun and Pachamama, Mother of Earth. In this ceremony, at first stage, women participate who prepare dishes from the gifts of Pachamama. Products such as potatoes, beans, barley, and quinoa are used. During the preparation and adoption of special ritual drinks, women ask for a new god harvest to Pachamama, Makmakota, deity of the lake Titicaca, and to the spirits of the mountains, the defenders of the entire Andean world. These days are very favorable for fulfilling women's personal request. After the dishes have been prepared, the elders of the community, accompanied by music and sounds, go to the shore of the lake, board the boat, and then put everything that they have prepared into the water. This ritual is called Koyarami. Women priestesses were always revered in Aymara society because they supposedly connected with Pachamama, Mother Earth. An interesting event occurred in La Paz on the Murillo Square. The women priestesses performed a ritual on the launch of the telecommunications satellite Tupac Caetari Boliviano in China. The satellite has been in operation since March 2014. I must say that holding rituals according to the Aymara tradition in Bolivia is not uncommon. I'm ready for your questions.